What's the worst way you've ever completely misjudged someone's silence? I spent my entire sophomore year thinking my roommate despised me for being a massive mama's boy. My roommate's name was Carter. We got randomly paired in this cramped, off-campus apartment. Carter was one of those guys who never seemed to blink. He was intensely quiet, always studying, always wearing these giant noise-canceling headphones. He just gave off this constant aura of being annoyed by my existence. I, on the other hand, am basically a golden retriever. And I have this routine. Every night at exactly 8 p.m., I call my mom. She lives across the country. She worries a lot. It's just our thing. We talk for maybe 20 minutes about absolutely nothing. What I ate for lunch, how my laundry shrank, stupid stuff. But every single time I made that call, Carter would do this thing. The second he heard me say, "Hey mom," he'd stop whatever he was doing. He wouldn't leave the room. He'd just sit on his bed, back completely rigid, staring at his laptop screen without typing a single word. Sometimes he'd pull one earbud out and just sit there, frozen. I felt so judged. I figured he thought I was this pathetic kid who couldn't survive college without his mommy. It got so awkward for me that by November, I started taking the calls out in the freezing cold hallway stairwell just to escape his weird, silently judging posture. Whenever I came back in, Carter would be totally checked out, giving me the cold shoulder. Fast forward to spring break. We're deep cleaning the apartment because our landlord is doing an inspection. I have to help him move his heavy oak desk away from the wall so we can vacuum. As we push it, this massive organic chemistry textbook slides off the edge and hits the floor. A bunch of loose paper falls out from between the pages. I bend down to help him grab them, and I realize they aren't flashcards or notes. They're parking receipts, like dozens of them, faded little thermal paper squares. I look closer at the one in my hand, and the header says State University Hospital, Oncology Center. The dates are literally every single weekend for the last 7 months. Carter froze. He lunged a little to grab them from me, but then he just stopped. His shoulders dropped. All that intense, judgy energy just vanished, and he looked incredibly young and tired. He sat down on the edge of his bed and rubbed his eyes. He told me his mom had been diagnosed with terminal pancreatic cancer right before the semester started. She was mostly non-verbal now, heavily medicated. He spent every single weekend sitting in a quiet, sterile hospital room just watching her sleep. I just stood there holding this stupid little piece of paper, feeling like the biggest jerk on the planet. I mumbled something like, "Man, I am so sorry. I had no idea. I thought you hated me because I was always bothering you with those loud calls to my mom." Carter looked up at me, his eyes totally red, and shook his head. He said, "I didn't hate it. When you started going out to the stairwell, I actually got really mad." I asked him why. He swallowed hard and stared at the floor. "Because my mom can't talk anymore. Hearing you complain to your mom about the dining hall food, it was literally the only 20 minutes of my day where I felt like a normal college kid. It's the only thing that made me feel like I still had a home." I didn't even know what to say. I just put the receipts back on his desk and helped him push it back against the wall. That night at 8 p.m., I didn't go to the stairwell. I sat on my bed, dialed my mom, put her on speakerphone for a second so she could say hi to Carter, and then just talked about my day. And for the first time all year, Carter didn't freeze up. He just put his headphones around his neck, laid back, and actually smiled.